Hello, April 8th, 2026. So, at the wedding at Cana, Jesus attended the wedding with his mom, whose name was Mary. And she discovered they were out of wine, so she asked him to help. So he asked for 6 empty jugs and filled those jugs with water, and had those jugs filled with water first. He then transformed the water into wine, and the wine was drunk. That can be construed as 6. If you think about a pregnancy, you have an empty jug being the womb of a person who has a womb, and then it's filled with water, the amniotic fluid, and then transformation to wine would be the birth, where the liquid, water and blood and everything comes out, and it's drunk when you hold a baby and think, oh my God, this is amazing, it's a miracle, and then the jug is empty again. So you have six of those would represent 6 pregnancies. So you can imagine a man and a woman at a wedding discussing how many children they want to have. So saying, hey, let's have 6 kids. Now, coincidentally, the name for Jesus, the New Testament, almost all of it appears in Greek. It's Koine Greek or Koine Greek, and the name for Jesus in that Greek is, I believe it's pronounced Jesus, and I'm going to turn this around here. You can see here are the 6 jugs. And here are the 6 Greek letters in the name Jesus. So you can imagine each time Mary gets pregnant, each time a woman named Mary gets pregnant, and by the way, Jesus refers to Mary as woman at the wedding at Cana. And she says, help them, they don't have any wine. He says, some guy walked within about a foot of me for some reason. Don't do that again or I'm going to film you. Nobody wants to see it. There's 6 Greek letters. So you can imagine every time a woman named Mary gets pregnant, a part of Jesus, almost like part of his genetic code, is inside of her womb. And that develops into an embryo and then a fetus. And there's 6 pregnancies there. The name Jesus in Greek, Jesus or something like that. I'm self-taught, so I don't, and I never spoke in Greek, so I don't know that stuff. Now, the name Christos is 7 Greek letters long. It means the anointed one, and you can see it's 7 Greek letters long. So you can imagine maybe 6 pregnancies and 7 babies. Now, it is said in the Gospel of Luke that Mary Magdalene had 7 demons driven from her. So you can imagine pregnancies with babies in them being driven from a woman. So driving a demon, little demons, little babies being driven from a woman. It's not all happy news. The miracle of loaves and fishes. There is John 6:9 says, there is a lad here with 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. So you can imagine 7 babies that lived in Mary's womb, 6 pregnancies, 7 babies, but only 5 of whom survived. 5 barley loaves. Imagine a loaf of bread, like a baby in swaddling clothes, a living baby, and the tragic image of 2 small fishes, which is like, if you've ever seen a miscarriage, it might look like that. Now, here's where it gets really awesome. Just imagine. First pregnancy, 1 child. Second pregnancy, 1 child. I'm going to stop for a second, just mention one more thing. At the wedding at Cana, once the 6 jugs are filled with water and then blood and then wine, and then the wine is drunk. The host of the wedding says, everybody serves the best wine first. You save the best for last. And what's important to notice here is the Greek letter for Jesus. The last letter in Jesus is the same as the last letter in Christos. Jesus and Christos, it's the same Greek letter. So the end of both the 6 letters in Jesus and the 7 letters in Christos are the same. That's the last pregnancy. Something was special about the last pregnancy. So just imagine, 1 pregnancy, 1 baby, 1 pregnancy, 1 baby, 1 pregnancy, 1 baby, 1 pregnancy, 1 baby, 1 pregnancy, 2 babies that die. Now, in the New Testament, Jesus rises from the dead. The other 2 people that rise from the dead, that Jesus raises from the dead, are Lazarus, who is characterized primarily by his relationship with his siblings, Mary and Martha, and the daughter of a man named Jairus, which is very close to Jesus. So you can imagine Lazarus and the daughter of Lazarus, a sibling who would have been a sibling, a boy, and a daughter who would have been a girl. You get twins, 1 boy, 1 girl, Jairus' daughter and Lazarus, who died. But they rise from the dead. The 3rd person who rises from the dead is Jesus himself, the anointed one. And this 3rd person, what would be miraculous about it? So you'd have, as I mentioned, these 4 are pregnancies for babies that lived, 1 baby. The 5th pregnancy, twins are miscarried. The 6th pregnancy, miraculously, you had a boy and girl as twins. If the 6th child was very, very special, if the 6th child was quote-unquote adulterous in the sense of being physically hermaphroditic, what would have happened is that in the birth of this child, this child's emergence from the tomb, Lazarus, the boy brother, and the daughter of Jairus would both have been resurrected through that final child. So you would have ended up with Jesus and Mary's plan to have 6 children, resulting in 6 pregnancies, 5 living children, but the final child is so special that they encompass the lost boy and girl from the one tragic event of the miscarriage. And the further miracle of the fact that the 5 and 2 pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 living babies, 2 miscarriages, matches Genesis 5:2, male and female. He created them and blessed them and called their name Adam in the day when they were created, male and female, 5:2. The 5th child and the 2 miscarriages, just like and that is the image and likeness of God in Genesis 1:27. So God created them created man in his own image, like Jesus is God. His children were created in his own image, which is why you get the letters from Jesus representing children. In the image of God, he created them, male and female, he created them. And so then imagine this quote-unquote adulterous child, this hermaphroditic child, then being condemned by the fucking retarded culture that it was born into, that wanted to, in the miracle of loaves and fishes, there is a lad here with 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes, but what are they among so many? Some need to classify them or to judge it. Jesus saves an adulterous woman from being stoned by judgmental fucking pricks. And you can imagine a father who was so delighted by the miracle of the appearance of this miraculous, rare, special child. If you think about gold and precious stones and silver, they are precious because they are rare. Rareness and scarcity drives up the value of things. And to have that rare, special thing be judged or rejected or condemned. It's just simply not something he was going to take. So 5 children, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 miscarriages, Jairus' daughter and Lazarus reborn through the anointed one, the very special one, the one who appears at the end, who is both male and female in the image and likeness of God.